My father refused to hold my hand at my wedding. You chose that poor man, so walk down the aisle alone. I quietly started walking down the aisle. Suddenly, the doors opened, and 25 men entered and formed two lines for me. One of them looked at my father and said, "Do you really not know who your daughter is marrying?" My father's smile disappeared immediately. My father refused to hold my hand on my wedding day. Standing outside the bridal suite, he said, "You chose that poor man, so walk down the aisle alone." My name is Hannah. I was 28 years old. My father, Charles Whitmore, was a commercial real estate broker in Phoenix. He decided how much respect a man deserved by looking at his car, his suit, and his bank account. My fiancé, Noah Carter, drove an old Ford pickup truck. He often wore work boots, and he sometimes carried boxes inside his company's warehouse himself. That was all my father saw. He never bothered to learn anything else. "Dad, the ceremony is about to begin," I said. He adjusted one of his cufflinks. "There's still time. Call off the wedding. I'm marrying Noah." "Then don't expect me to play the role of a proud father." My mother, Susan, stood a few feet away. She held a tissue in one hand, but she did not say anything. My younger sister, Emily, looked at Dad. "Dad, this is her wedding." "She made her choice," he replied. I tightened my grip on my bouquet. A small pin hidden in the ribbon was digging into my finger. I pulled it out, placed it on a table, and walked toward the ceremony doors. The wedding coordinator looked behind me. "Who will be walking with you?" "No one," I said. "Start the music." The doors opened. The guests turned in their seats. Noah stood beside the altar in a dark suit. When he saw me standing alone, the smile left his face. I took my first step. Then the doors behind the entrance opened again. 25 men walked inside. Every one of them wore a navy suit. They quietly separated into two groups and formed lines on both sides of the aisle. I stopped. Marcus Reed stood at the front. He was 50, with a white beard and a straight, confident posture. I had always assumed he was simply one of Noah's older friends. He approached me. "Hannah, if you'll allow us, we would be honored to walk with you." I looked at the men behind him. "How did all of you know?" Emily spoke from behind me. "I sent them a message." Marcus offered me his arm. The other men lowered their heads at the same time. I accepted his arm and began walking. After several steps, another man came forward and took his place. Each man walked beside me for a short distance before allowing the next one to continue. My father was standing near the last row of chairs. A small, mocking smile remained on his face. Marcus stopped in front of him. "Mr. Whitmore, do you really not know who your daughter is marrying?" Dad looked toward Noah. "I know exactly who he is. He's a warehouse worker." Marcus glanced at the men standing along the aisle. "Noah is the founder and majority owner of Carter Infrastructure. We are his regional directors, senior engineers, and business partners. Last year, the company was valued at $120 million. My father's smile disappeared immediately. I knew the truth about Noah's company, but even I had never focused on the full extent of his wealth. Noah had never lied to me or deliberately hidden his success. I had simply never asked what the company was worth. I knew he had started the business after college. I knew he reinvested most of the profits and worked alongside his employees. That was enough for me. Noah did not buy an expensive car because his old pickup still ran. He lived in a modest ranch house instead of a penthouse because, as he once told me, he did not like empty rooms. My father had mistaken simplicity for poverty. I reached the altar, and Noah took my hand. "Are you okay?" he whispered. "I am now." The ceremony continued. My father did not sit in the front row. He remained at the last table during the reception, checking his phone every few minutes. During dinner, he approached Noah. "We should talk," he said. Noah put down his glass. "About what?" "Business. I'm putting together a downtown redevelopment project. It would be a perfect opportunity for your company." I watched my father's face. Half an hour earlier, he had called Noah poor. Now his voice was warm and respectful. "Send the proposal to my office," Noah said. "My team will review it." Dad smiled. "Do we really need formalities between family?" I answered before Noah could. You made your definition of family very clear today. Dad's smile tightened. He looked at me but said nothing. The following morning, I listened to a voicemail from him. There was no apology. He said emotions had gotten out of control at the wedding. Then he spent the rest of the message explaining why Noah needed to take his development proposal seriously. I saved the recording. 2 weeks later, Carter Infrastructure rejected the project. The property was tied up in multiple lawsuits. The financing was incomplete, and my father had concealed significant losses from his investors. Noah did not reject it because of what happened at our wedding. The documents were enough. Dad called me as soon as he received the decision. You turned him against me. No, I said. Your numbers did that. You know how important this project is. I also know you lied to the investors. That has nothing to do with you. Then Noah's decision has nothing to do with me. 3 months later, the project collapsed. 2 major clients cancelled their contracts. Dad had to move into a smaller office, and the leasing company repossessed his black SUV. He posted a long message in the family group chat claiming Noah had deliberately destroyed him. Marcus sent one reply. He gave you an opportunity. You failed to give him the truth. I left the group chat. A year later, those same 25 men came to our house for our wedding anniversary. This time, there were no navy suits. They wore jeans and t-shirts. They stood around our backyard eating barbecue from paper plates while several children ran between the folding chairs. Noah's old Ford pickup was still parked in the driveway. Marcus looked at me and smiled. If you ever need to walk down another aisle, we're ready. I laughed. That evening, a delivery driver brought an envelope from my father. The words "for my daughter" were written across the front in his assistant's handwriting. I turned it over once. Then I placed it on the kitchen counter. Noah asked, "Are you going to open it?" No. I carried the envelope upstairs and put it inside the same drawer where I had kept the pin that hurt my finger on my wedding day. The envelope remained sealed. So did everything my father had waited too long to say. If Hannah's wedding story touched you, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories about family, betrayal, and unexpected justice. Your support means so much and helps us continue sharing powerful stories with you. Thank you sincerely for watching, and we hope you'll join us again for the next one.